Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Dennis Hennigan, and you are listening to the Growth Winners Podcast, Episode 1. Check that out. I'm so just grateful and in awe right now that you have chosen to spend time with me on a podcast that, at this time by recording, hasn't even launched yet. So I'm super pumped by the time you're listening to this and I get this thing out there. I'm so glad and grateful that you have chosen to spend time with me and listening to the podcast. Real quick, if you're not watching on YouTube and you're only listening to the audio, you're missing out right here on the authenticity I'm willing to expose here. I'm in my kids' playroom, okay? And everything's got to start somewhere. And, I don't have a home office yet, but what I do have is a kid's playroom, and that's where I'm going to be starting this thing and recording. It's just super exciting. I'm so pumped to get this thing off the ground. I'm so pumped to share my knowledge and my value with a lot of people and just to achieve a higher level of not just success. That's a whole thing we're going to get into, but just well-being of life, mindset, habits, routine, progress, all these great things that make us who we are. I'm so pumped to go into so many different things. But for the first one, I got a really good one, and I don't even want to waste any time getting into the valuable stuff. I know why you're here. You want value, and I cannot wait to over-deliver on that. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into things. With this being the first episode, I'm starting this thing because my number one goal, I don't want you to just listen to this and run away with it. I want you to actually take action with the stuff that I'm bringing to you through the podcast. So I'm going to be completely action-driven. I really want to see you change your life. I really want to see you develop better habits, get clarity in your mind, and actually see the results. And in order to do that, it's repetition. Repetition is going to be the key to mastery here. So with every single episode that I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to start and end with the same thing, okay? And I'm going to call it my little mantra or mantra. I don't know what that definition is or how to say it, but the mantra, whatever it's called. Without further ado, there's two things that I say to myself every day at 6 o'clock. I set a trigger, which it's a simple silenced alarm on my phone at 6 o'clock every single day, and it pops up and it says, "I am confident and I am valuable." So we're going to start the episode with "I am confident." Repeat after me. I am confident. I am valuable. I am a growth winner. All right. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, let's dive right into the very first episode. So again, super pumped to have you here. It's a little bit goal-driven, and it's a little bit self-awareness-driven because I believe it's the first step into any change that you're ever going to make in your life. You have to be self-aware, and I'm going to reverse and rewind back. I'm going to tell and share stories about my life. I'm going to, have a bunch of amazing guests on here to share theirs, and with the first episode's topic is the top 3 reasons most dreams don't come true. And for those of you listening right now, maybe you're living your dream, maybe you're still questioning your dream, and it doesn't matter if you're young or if you're in your 40s or 50s, you still have time, right? It's the first thing you got to understand is self-awareness. You still have time. If you're listening to this right now and you're healthy and you've got anything going for you right now, it's that you still have time and you still have a ton of opportunity, and it is my goal to get you to understand and see that opportunity that's right in front of you. But the top 3 reasons most dreams don't come true. I'm going to start off with number 1 is preconditioning, okay? The value of others' opinions, paradigms. And you have to understand and reflect back who are you listening to and who you're taking advice from, okay? Because the preconditioning that you have at the point in your life, whether you're 18 or you're 58 right now, some of you could be just graduating high school listening to this. Some of you could be, in your second marriage, right? Some of you could be, heading towards retirement. And you just think to yourself, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What did you want to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? Okay, and you've got to get that right in front of you every single day. But with preconditioning, sometimes it's easy to forget about what you want because of listening to the opinions of others. You value what other people think of you. You value what other people say about your dreams, and then you start to believe it. Okay, it plants seeds in our heads and in our minds that if other people think our dream is stupid, then it might be. All right. So the thing is, though, with valuing other people's opinions, you have to understand where the opinions are coming from and the reflection, the self-reflection of them and the self-reflection of yourself, the value and the weight that you put on it. Okay, everything has a currency. Everything has a value. Okay, so you go to the bathroom because you have to go to the bathroom really, really bad. A toilet would be very, very valuable in that moment. But if you don't have to go to the bathroom and you walk past 3 different restrooms, it's not very valuable to you. But the minute you have to go, there's urgency, there's intention, there's reason, there's purpose, okay? Relating back to your life, preconditioning, think about all the times in your life that somebody's told you no, and not just somebody that's told you no. You've dealt with rejection. We all have. We're humans, okay? But what you got to understand is the reaction to these occurrences in your life. Because the action that's happening is you have the choice to believe it. Either you believe it or you don't, okay? It either is a bypass thought or it really holds on and sticks to you. That's the paradigms. That's the juice. That's what we want to focus on, is what have you been told? What have you been led to believe all your life? Okay, I'm talking like 6 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 18 years old. What have you been led to believe? Because just because you have these thoughts and these dreams, and I'm so guilty for this, I've listened to so many different people and I've allowed it. That's the accountability that I've lacked. I've allowed the other people in my life, I've listened to them as if it means anything, but at the end of the day, it doesn't. Think about how many times you've asked somebody you care about, what do you think about this? What do you think about this new business idea? What do you think about, me going out with that girl or asking that girl out? Man, she's ugly. No, you look like a fool if you date her, man. That's gross. That has conditioned us. Everything that we've thought about, everything that we've experienced, these experiences that we live through has conditioned us into how we think and act towards the rest of our life. These moments and experiences are creating, that's the reaction that we're getting because it's further progressing our decision making. Okay, so you got to make sure you got to understand how you've been preconditioned before you can even change the conditioning. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you because it's such an invaluable point. Is you've been led to believe things that aren't even true. So the first step is for you to not believe the things that you're listening to. You've got to stay rooted to who you are and your own internal feelings and thoughts and emotions. And that if you want something, you have to go all in on it. All right. Number 2. And this one is so big for me, and that's why I really want to talk about it. Why most people don't achieve their dreams and their dreams don't come true is they're focused on the end result, the thing, more than they're focused on the journey to get there. And think about this. The pleasure you would get if you had all the money in the world, nicest car, nicest house, you've won, right? You've made it. You went across the Monopoly board, you went all the way around, and you hit go, and you hit free parking, and everything goes out in your favor. You know this. You know it deep in your heart listening to this right now that would not be fun. You gotta start embracing the challenges and start looking at everything as an opportunity, because the minute you flip that mindset that not everything is happening to me, it's happening for me, thank you Ed Milet for that one, that's when things are going to start changing for you. If you're focused on being perfect from the start, if you're focused on, what the end result is going to give you, what retirement looks like, what money you're going to have in your bank account, and all these external things, you're going to live a lonely, lonely life, because let's just say that is a 2-year thing, right? Like, 2 to 5 years that you get to enjoy it, but you spent 20 to 30 years building it, okay? You finally hit $1 million in your business. I know for our business, we just surpassed 500,000, and to me, it's like I'm already focused on $1 million. I haven't even embraced the journey to get to the halfway point, right? I'm already focused on the next thing. So when you're constantly focused on the end result, you tend to miss the journey. You forget about why you're even doing it. You look at it as a scorecard. You look at it in a football game, okay? If you watch football, follow football, you score a touchdown, you can win, right? The more touchdowns you score versus the opponent, you win the ball game. You get more points, you win. In life, look at your scorecard. Look at your scoreboard. What are your touchdowns? Okay? Is it the money? Is it the wife or husband? Is it the finishing school? Is it getting the job? Because once you get the job, once you get the partner, once you get all these external things, it's over, right? What is the next step for you? So if you're focused on the end result, then there is no journey or process, and it's not as exciting. So if you start embracing the journey to get to the end, that's when you're going to start achieving more in your life, because you can embrace the now, the present, because you're going to miss a ton of opportunities. Trust me, I know from experience, and I hope that one hits home for you really, really good. And number 3, real quick, is the consistency. Again, super guilty. And a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is going to come from past experiences, okay? I'm sharing my knowledge and my value from things that I've dealt with and I've experienced. I'm refusing to talk about things that I don't know anything about. I'm refusing to give you cliche advice. I'm giving you practical and tactical advice that I've learned, okay? I've read a ton of books. I've invested a lot into different programs and gotten different mentors and just followed a lot of great people, been introduced to a lot of great people. And again, talking about the dreams and the journey, there's always going to be more, right? Back to consistency. And by the way, this first episode, you're going to learn this very quickly. I tend to get on tangents and I tend to get very sidetracked, so just bear with me because it's all great stuff. Consistency. Not being 100% obsessed. The repetition of being totally invested. We could talk a lot controversially about whether you should be completely obsessed or all in or not, but the bottom line is, because some people might literally view that as obsession is a bad thing. If you're completely obsessed with the right things, it's not the bad thing. Like, think about that. If you're completely obsessed with good health, you're completely obsessed with a great partnership with your wife or husband or whatever, those are all great things, okay? Those are all really good, positive outcomes. Why should you be, fearful of being obsessed with those good things? A lot of people might tell you, especially being an entrepreneur, I've heard it myself many times in my life, take it easy, man, and embrace the now. I am embracing the now, right? I am. That's why I'm so obsessed, is because I'm loving the process so much that it's all I can think and focus on. I'm sorry that, we might be wired differently as entrepreneurs. Shout out to all you entrepreneurs listening right now. I'm sorry that we feel a little bit different because we're wired differently. I'm sorry that we're completely obsessed with the mission and the purpose and the drive, because we know that there's a good outcome at the end. We know that we're doing something good. But what if it doesn't work out? Okay, you go all in, you say, okay, Dennis, I listened to your podcast, and I went all in. I started the business because you told me I should go all in on my dreams, and it just didn't work out. I failed. The consistency. How much did you actually try? Did you actually go all in? Because your all in versus my all in versus Tony Robbins all in is completely different. If you want something bad enough, you'll move mountains to get there, right? Would you agree with that? And when you can start embracing that stuff and you can start making little shifts, consistent little improvements, that's what creates the big results. Right now, my little tagline is let's grow together. My old tagline used to be win small today so you can win big soon. Because it's true. You have to understand how to break things up into micro steps. It's not baby steps, micro steps. Micro steps create the macro in your life. The external and outcomes and results that you get, it all starts on the internal and the micro inside. You start stacking, okay? You start stacking your results, and that's what's super, super important, is to not focus all the way at the end, because you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost and you're not going to embrace the process. So those are my top 3 reasons. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, those are the top 3 reasons that I believe people don't achieve their dreams. Focusing on other people's opinions, valuing other people's opinions, listening to people that know nothing about what they're trying to do, and they, again, relating that back to valuing it. You asked your mom, Mom, what do you think about me being a doctor? Oh, sweetheart, don't go, be a doctor. They pay too much in taxes. I don't know, whatever they tell you. And then you don't go be a doctor, even though that's exactly what you wanted to do. You knew what you wanted to do in life. You knew what would make you happy, and you denied it because of other people's opinions, even the closest people in your lives. It's something you have to really filter out and understand, is, are the people that are giving me advice, or the people that I'm listening to, are they giving me protective advice, or are they giving me advice that is going to further me along in my dreams and my purpose? You have got to protect who you are as a person, because I think I saw this in a movie. People can take your house, they can take your life, they can kill you. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You can get killed tomorrow at the gas station. People can take anything you want in this world. Anything that you have, somebody can take it, except for your beliefs. Think about that. Except for what you think inside, what you feel, who you are, what you stand for, your values, who you are as a person is the number one thing and the only thing that nobody can take away from you, because it's created on the inside. Once you start creating who you are on the inside, that's what creates the outcomes in your life. Those are the 3 things that I encourage you to really focus on today. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, every single episode is going to end with a challenge, which it ties right into this. Here's my episode challenge. I want you to share your childhood dream with me on Instagram, at Dennis Hennigan. Go on Instagram, at Dennis Hennigan. Find me. You can shoot a quick little video and a story or a post, and I'll repost it to mine, and I'll share that out with you, because I want to share your dream just as much as I want to get my dream out there. Again, it's not all about me. It's about us, okay? Let's grow together. That's what this is all about. All right? So, came at you pretty strong today. Hey, for the first episode, I wanted to drop some value for you. So share your childhood dream with me on Instagram, and we'll get right into the mantra, whatever it is. I got to figure out. I'm going to Google that next, right when I'm done with this. Okay, here we go. Ready? Repeat this again. Repeat it. Repetition's the key to mastery. Here we go. I am confident. I am valuable. I am a growth winner. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the very first episode of the Growth Winners Podcast. I'm your host, Dennis Hennigan. Talk to you guys later. Peace.